Hello, I'm gonna be talking about the last dimension of personality, which is interesting because we see this in personal life and in organizational life, which is probably one of the most reason for biggest conflict between individuals within an organization in your working place, but also in your personal relationship. And so this is the last dimension. It's J and P, and J stand for judging and P stand for perceiving. It doesn't mean that if you are a judging type, it doesn't mean you are judgmental. And if you are a P type, it doesn't mean that you are perceptive. So these two dichotomy just refer to how we prefer to live our life. And before going into that, I'd like you to watch, if you haven't watched the three other dimensions, introversion versus extroversion, sensation versus intuition, and thinking versus feeling. Those are probably a video you should watch as well. So this is the last dimension of them, which is judging versus perceiving. And once you have like the four-letter code, so you can either be a judging or either be perceiving. Once you have that four-letter code, it means that we can sort of find, then you have a personality type basically. And so J versus P and how to see them in the organizational life is that they approach goals differently. If you give a J person a goal and a P person a goal, what happens is that they will approach it differently. Their energy will approach the goal differently. And why I say this is that a J person, there we go, like if you have a start date here and they have a deadline, they have to hand in something. So what happens is that they'll start here and they will move stepwards in an organized fashion. They move, and what happens is that probably before deadline, they probably hand it in. Now, and we have the different type, and the different type, the P perceptive people that has perception. What happens is that they'll probably maybe start here and they go a bit here and they go a bit here and they move, and what happens is that just before the deadline they'll be like and just hand it in probably the same day, maybe 2 hours before. So what happens is that now we have two different individuals. We have one that is more organized, and what happens is that these individuals, if they were to do this, they will tire them out, and P individuals, if they are to do this, they will tire them out. What happens is that the P person get energized, they get energy when the deadline comes very close, and often during the deadline they'll go and do different many things, and what happens is that their orientation towards their life and how they prefer to live their life is more flexible, it's more spontaneous, it's more go with the flow, whereas J people will have more structured life, more scheduled and organized and planned. So it's very important to see this because in a relationship, in terms of two individuals, this argument can happen at home. You know, the person is sort of frustrated over that. Especially JP people are often frustrated with P individuals in that they might do many things rather than one. They might do 3-4 things, and they probably won't do it before the last minute, and that frustrates J individuals because J individual thinks that they are not being taken seriously, or thinks that the person is not really doing their job. But in honest truth, when you have this and this, when they hand in their job, their grade is not necessarily different. Their quality of work is not necessarily different, but it's just how they approach towards the goal is different. And if you put a J into a position where they have to do P, you can see the J people, they are sort of going backwards. They don't, because they are not getting energized. They need a time to digest what is happening. So it could be very frustrating for J individuals if they have a day which they have planned and now they have to go and do something else which they haven't planned for. So that could be a frustrating thing for them. So that's the differences between J and P.